Anyway, to me, I thought it was a perfect story. I had the sympathetic dwarfs and things. I had the prince and the girl, the romance. I had the heavy. I just thought it was a perfect story, most perfect of plots. I mean, it's basic all the way through.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is a groundbreaking animated film produced by Walt Disney Productions and released in 1937. Based on the German fairy tale by the brothers Grimm, the film tells the story of Snow White, a young princess who becomes the target of her jealous stepmother, the Evil Queen. After fleeing into the forest, Snow White befriends seven dwarfs: Duck, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and Dopey, who provide her shelter. Walt Disney's ambitious project began in early 1934 when he decided to expand beyond his successful short cartoons. Disney was inspired by the 1916 silent film version of Snow White he saw as a child in Kansas City. At the time, the idea of a full-length animated feature was considered risky and was derisively nicknamed Disney's Folly by industry skeptics. The development faced numerous obstacles, financial risk. The film eventually cost $1.5 million, a massive figure at the time, far exceeding the original $250,000 budget. Production took roughly 3 years to complete. It involved over 750 artists who worked on the film. Industry doubt, many in Hollywood predicted audiences wouldn't sit through a feature-length cartoon. Technical innovation: Disney pioneered several animation techniques for this film, including the multiplane camera, which created a sense of depth, detailed character animation with distinct personalities for each dwarf, special effects, new techniques for water, fire, and other natural elements, advanced color processes that brought the fairy tale to vibrant life. It holds the distinction of being the first full-length cel animated feature film in history, the first animated feature film produced in the United States, the first animated feature film in Technicolor.
Oh, how silly of me. I'm Snow White.
Snow White, the princess?
Yes.
Snow White, voiced by Adriana Caselotti, the beautiful and kind-hearted princess who is the protagonist of the story. She is the first Disney princess and set the template for many princess characters that followed. A young, beautiful princess with fair skin, rosy cheeks, and red lips. Short black hair styled in the bob with a red ribbon headband, wears a distinctive dress with a yellow skirt, blue bodice with puffed sleeves, and a high white collar. She is innocent, pure-hearted, and kind to all living creatures, cheerful and optimistic even when facing difficult circumstances, nurturing and motherly, especially toward the seven dwarfs, naive and trusting, which leads to her downfall when she encounters the evil queen in disguise, hardworking and tidy, as shown when she cleans the dwarf's cottage. She remains one of the most recognizable and beloved characters in animation history.
Now, begin thy magic spell.
The Evil Queen, voiced by Lucille Laverne, also known as Queen Grimhild, is Disney's first animated villain and one of cinema's most iconic antagonists, Snow White's stepmother and ruler of the kingdom. Her motivation is the obsessive desire to be the fairest one of all. Extreme vanity and narcissism, striking visual design inspired by actress Joan Crawford and Uta Bond Balansted, mastery of dark magic and cunning intelligence, her daily ritual of seeking validation from the magic mirror,
Who is the fairest one of all?
her meticulous preparation of the poison apple and dramatic transformation sequence from beautiful queen to hideous hag, Lucille Laverne, who reportedly removed her dentures to achieve the hag's raspy voice.
He'll be buried alive.
In the final confrontation, her consuming jealousy led to her eventual demise. She was ranked at number 10 on AFI's Greatest Movie Villains of All Time. Her character represents the dangers of vanity and the destructive nature of jealousy, making her not just a villain but a cautionary figure whose psychological complexity continues to fascinate audiences nearly a century after her creation. The Prince, voiced by Harry Stockwell, is a classic, though relatively minor, character in the film. The Prince was originally a much more prominent character, but the difficulty found in animating him convincingly forced the animators to reduce his part significantly. He appears only at the very beginning and the very end of the film. He has no dialogue in the middle section and minimal screen time overall. Due to his limited screen time, he receives almost no character development. He functions primarily as a plot device and symbol rather than a fully realized character. His motivations, beyond falling for Snow White at first sight, and personality are not explored. He represents the essential rescuing prince trope central to the Snow White fairy tale. Symbol of hope for Snow White, he symbolizes her dream of escaping the queen's cruelty and finding true love. Catalyst for happy ending, his kiss is the direct action that resolves the central conflict and provides the story's happy conclusion. While underdeveloped, he set the visual and archetypal template for many subsequent Disney princes like Prince Charming in Cinderella or Philip in Sleeping Beauty, though later princes would receive significantly more personality and screen time.
What wouldst thou know, my queen?
The Magic Mirror, voiced by Marani Olson, is a pivotal, though minor, character with significant narrative importance. A large, ornate, gilded mirror with a humanoid face materializing within swirling green smoke. The face is stern, mask-like, and androgynous, represents vanity, truth, and the queen's obsession with external beauty. Its shadowy design contrasts with the queen's opulence, hinting at dark magic. The mirror serves as the evil queen's mystical advisor, residing in their castle's throne room. She uses it to confirm her status as the fairest of them all. The mirror cannot lie, it provides objective, often brutal, truths about beauty and power. Its honesty drives the plot forward. Neutral and obedient, the mirror lacks personal malice. It merely answers the queen's commands without emotion or bias. Its supernatural aura and the queen's desperate interactions with it add psychological tension to the film. Pioneered Disney's use of atmospheric effects, smoke, light to create mythical elements, setting a standard for future magical characters. The Magic Mirror remains a haunting figure in Disney's history, a minimalist character whose few lines carry immense weight, embodying the film's themes of envy, truth, and the destructive pursuit of perfection.
Yes, Your Majesty.
The Huntsman, voiced by Stuart Buchanan, while not a central character like Snow White or the Queen, the Huntsman plays a pivotal and psychologically complex role in the film. His brief but intense screen time delivers crucial narrative, momentum, and thematic depth. He is introduced as the Queen's loyal servant, tasked with the horrific mission: take Snow White deep into the forest, her, and return with her heart in a box as proof of the deed. His refusal to carry out the murder is the direct catalyst that forced Snow White to flee into the forest, leading her to the dwarf's cottage and the main part of the story. He represents the first significant crack in the Queen's absolute power and the first instance of moral defiance within the film's human characters. The Huntsman vanishes from the film after delivering the pig's heart to the Queen and fleeing her wrath. She screams in fury upon realizing she's been tricked. His fate is left unknown. This narrative choice keeps the focus squarely on Snow White, the dwarfs, and the Queen's next move. His story arc, the moment of moral choice and its immediate consequence, is complete. His brief but powerful scene is a masterclass in conveying complex emotion and moral weight through animation.
No, you're Doc.
Why, yeah, that's true.
Doc, voiced by Roy Otwell, the leader of the dwarfs who wears glasses and often gets his words mixed up. Despite his speech impediment, he is portrayed as the most educated and knowledgeable of the dwarfs. Doc leads the dwarfs in their daily work in the diamond mine, guides the group's decisions, and is instrumental in their relationship with Snow White. He often tries to maintain order among the dwarfs' diverse personalities, particularly when dealing with the more resistant Grumpy.
Oh, you must be grumpy.
Grumpy, voiced by Pinto Colvig, who also voiced Sleepy, is arguably the most complex and memorable of the seven dwarfs, providing both comic relief and surprising emotional depth. The ultimate pessimist, Grumpy lives up to his name. He is perpetually annoyed, cynical, and suspicious. He expects the worst in every situation and everyone, especially newcomers. His default expression is a deep scowl. He grumbles, complains, and finds fault in everything, from the other dwarfs' antics to the very idea of Snow White staying with them. He is fiercely independent and resistant to change or authority, even Doc's flustered leadership. He often refuses to go along with the group's plan if he disagrees. Grumpy is instantly recognizable. He has the largest nose and the bushiest, most expressive eyebrows among the dwarfs, which are almost permanently furrowed downwards. He is often seen with his arms crossed tightly over his chest, leaning back in the defiant posture, or stomping around with a heavy, annoyed gait.
And you must be...
Happy, ma'am. That's me.
Happy, voiced by Otis Harlan, true to his name, Happy is characterized by his perpetually cheerful and optimistic demeanor. Happy is a short, stout dwarf with a long white beard and rosy cheeks. He wears a reddish-orange tunic with a yellow hat. His facial expression is almost always a broad, joyful smile. Happy participates in all the major dwarfs' activities, including mining for diamonds, welcoming Snow White into their home, and helping protect her from the evil queen. His cheerful personality often helps lift the spirits of the entire group, especially during challenging times.
And you? You're sleepy.
Hard to guess.
Sleepy is a short, rotund dwarf with a long white beard and heavy eyelids that are always half closed. Despite his constant tiredness, he is kind-hearted and loyal to his fellow dwarfs and Snow White. He often yawns, moves slowly, and can be found dozing off at any moment. While not as prominent as some of the other dwarfs, he contributes to the group dynamic with his relaxed, easygoing nature.
You're bashful.
Oh, gosh.
Bashful, voiced by Scotty Matrow, is the quintessential embodiment of shyness and sweet awkwardness. He is easily embarrassed, flustered, and uncomfortable being the center of attention. His face turns a deep, bright crimson at the slightest hint of embarrassment, especially when Snow White is near or paying attention to him. Beneath the shyness lies a gentle, kind, and pure heart. He is fundamentally good-natured and well-meaning. He speaks infrequently and usually in a soft, hesitant voice, often stammering or trailing off when he does. He is generally passive and avoids conflict.
You're Sneezy.
Sneezy, voiced by Billy Gilbert, suffers from frequent sneezing fits. Good-natured and hardworking despite his constant sneezing problem. His sneezes are so powerful they can blow objects and even other dwarfs across the room. His sneezing often creates comedic moments throughout the film.
This is Dopey. He don't talk none.
Dopey, his vocal effects provided by Eddie Collins, is the only dwarf who doesn't speak. He communicates through pantomime, facial expressions, and whimpers, making him the most visually expressive of the group. Childlike and innocent, he has a playful, naive demeanor, often resembling a curious toddler. His wide-eyed wonder and clumsiness add comedic charm. Comic relief, his antics, like tripping over his own feet or swallowing soap, provide much of the film's physical humor. Dopey is the youngest looking dwarf with no beard, unlike the others, large eyes, and oversized ears. He wears a baggy tunic, oversized cap, and shoes too big for his feet. Often seen with the lamp or mimicking others' actions, highlighting his imitative nature. Dopey was modeled after silent comedians like Charlie Chaplin and Harpo Marx, relying on physical humor instead of dialogue. The film's music was integral to its development. Frank Churchill, Larry Morey, Paul Smith, and Leigh Harline composed the score. Songs like Hey Ho, Someday My Prince Will Come, and Whistle While You Work were created specifically for the film and have become enduring classics. The music was used to advance the story and develop the characters. The film's historical significance was massive, both critical and commercial. It premiered on December 21, 1937, became the highest grossing sound film of its time, briefly holding the record until Gone with the Wind surpassed it, the highest grossing film of 1938, and was also the highest grossing animated film for 55 years until 1993, when Aladdin surpassed it. Adjusted for inflation, it's still one of the top 10 performers at the North American box office and is still the highest grossing animated film. It earned Walt Disney an honorary Academy Award, 1 full-size Oscar, and 7 miniature ones. Was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry and was named the greatest American animated film by the AFI in 2008. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is far more than just a classic animated film. The film's success established Disney as the leader in animation and created the template for Disney's future animated classics. The development of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs marked a pivotal moment in cinema history, establishing animation as a legitimate art form and setting the standard for all animated features that followed. Its legacy is not just historical, it continues to resonate and shape popular culture nearly a century after its release.